Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to do a really quick run through of noise reduction in Lightroom Creative Cloud or Lightroom Classic Creative Cloud. Now, this is going to be a bit different because rather than talking about a specific program and how it can help you, I'm really just talking more about noise reduction and some of the concerns that you should be aware of. So I have here an image which is an aurora image, and what you'll notice if you look at this zoomed in section is that there is a bit of noise in the image. Now this was shot at ISO 800, so it's not massively high, but there is still a little bit of noise. Now I could do a few things to try and fix this noise. I could use Lightroom's manual noise reduction, and the temptation can often be just to bump this up to 100%. But what you'll hopefully notice is that when I compare before and after, I've lost a lot of detail. Now, this is especially true in the sky, but it is also true as well in the shadow areas if I were to bump the highlights. Now, I could do something like apply a linear gradient, which I've done here, to try and improve the noise of this lower area. And that would certainly work, but then I'm missing the sky as well. So it's always a balancing act. Generally speaking, I find that you're going to do better with these kind of masking tools to try and get more of a realistic look. But like I said, if I go 100% on global noise, it's going to look really unnatural and I'm going to lose a lot of detail that I don't want to. So what are our other options? Well, there's a few. Within Lightroom itself, I could apply denoise, and this is an intelligent noise reduction. And if I look at this noise reduction, what you'll see is that it definitely takes some of the noise out. But if you compare this is the before and this is the after, it has taken out some of the stars. So like I said, it is a little bit of a balancing act as to how much noise reduction is too much. Now this is much better than going 100% manual, clearly, and it does do, I think, a reasonable job. But of course, there are other tools as well. And sometimes I think that some of these more dedicated tools can tend to do a better job. So I just looked at two as this example. One of them is Topaz and the other is Skylum. So this is the Topaz image, and I've just fed this through noise reduction. Now, it has been cropped slightly, so it is a little bit harder to compare, but you'll see that I think it's done a much better job. If I look at this center area and then compare this to Topaz, I think it has removed the noise without making too much effect on the sharpness. Now, I can look at some of these maybe areas around here, and you'll see on this right-hand panel, there is some artifact. Now I am pixel peaking at this point. When I compare this to this other one over here, you'll see that there's a lot of noise. So it has absolutely removed a significant amount of that noise, but it has created a little artifact there as well. Now, is that the end of the world? No. Not at this extent, and I still think it has done a much better job than Lightroom has, but it's just something to consider. And just as another comparison, this one is Luminar Neo, and so I'm just going to bring the exposure up just a little bit. Again, I haven't really edited these. They all handle color slightly differently, but you'll see it's quite similar to the other Topaz in that I think it's removed the noise without affecting the sharpness too much. Now this is on a low setting. It recommended I only do a low amount of noise reduction. And you'll see it does to me look like there's slightly less artifacts, but there's also less noise reduction. So I think that highlights that pretty well. Now, as just a recap, or as I was mentioning, noise reduction is a really useful tool, but kind of dumb noise reduction can really affect your image negatively. So it's always a balancing act with how much you're going to apply. And I personally think that some of these more intelligent noise reduction tools, whether it's Lightroom itself or Skylum, Topaz, Pure Raw from DxO, they tend to do a much better job of noise reduction than the manual kind of dumb noise reduction. Now, I've got a lot of videos on various tools, so please feel free to have a look at those videos if you want to find out more or see examples from specific tools. But I guess in this video, I just wanted to highlight some of the things to be aware of with noise reduction, namely that it's a bit of a balancing act, and excess noise reduction can really affect sharpness. And so trying to find where that balance is will depend on the individual photos you're taking, and probably a bit of trial and error as well. Thanks for watching.